Here's the result for the guy you filled out the survey for. He gets a C+. plus. This guy is rather so-so. Not too good, not too bad. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He's the type who walks the talk. If he says he'll work hard, he will. His way is steady and practical, not flashy. So you may not see fireworks, but you will notice progress year after year. He may hit a glass ceiling if relationships matter in his field.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he won't fall apart easily. He's calm under pressure and doesn't get overly emotional or dramatic. Sometimes he won't share his worries with anyone, keeping everything bottled up inside.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
People might respect his hard work and the way he keeps things organized, but he may struggle to be truly liked. He's often blunt, not very gentle with words, and doesn't pay much attention to others' feelings. That can rub some people the wrong way, leading to arguments or people avoiding him.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you shine in your own career, he is likely to feel a mix of things. On the outside, he'll probably say congratulations and keep himself busy, but deep down, he might get uncomfortable. Instead of openly celebrating, he could pull back and focus even harder on his own work.
What if you start earning more than him?
If you earn more than him, he may quietly struggle with it. He probably won't start arguments or complain openly, but you might feel a distance grow between you two. While he won't show obvious anger, there may be less warmth and sharing between you.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He handles money with a lot of care and caution. He likes things to be planned, orderly, and under control, so he's not the type to make random purchases or take risks with finances. While you can trust him not to waste money, you might find him less open to treats or surprises.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He lives very much within his means and doesn't put on any show about being richer than he is. He isn't interested in flashy things or in impressing people with expensive gifts or trips. You won't find him boasting or trying to outdo others when it comes to money.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He's quite tight with both money and his mindset. He believes in saving, following rules, and not spending on things he doesn't see as necessary. He can seem a bit distant or strict, focusing more on practicality than on making others feel special.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He is more controlling than open when it comes to money. He likes to manage the finances himself and may set strict rules about spending, sometimes without much discussion. He isn't likely to lie, but he might keep details to himself or make decisions alone, expecting you to simply follow along.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He is likely to believe strongly in routines and clear rules, so he may expect housework to be your responsibility, especially if that's what he grew up seeing. He thinks things should be done a certain way and loves order in the home, but he won't always step in to help unless it's part of his regular habit. You might find him pointing out what needs doing rather than actually doing it, and he may not recognize how much effort daily chores take.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He is much more likely to supervise than to actually pitch in with chores or diaper changes. He likes things done properly and will notice if something is out of place. But instead of rolling up his sleeves, he'll often expect you to handle the work and may just give directions or point out what's missing. You might hear advice or reminders more than real help.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He is more likely to argue just to prove he's right, rather than trying to truly understand your side. He believes strongly in his way of doing things and can be quite stubborn when challenged. This can make you feel unheard or as if your opinions aren't valued.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he usually stays calm and isn't one to shout or throw things around. He doesn't lose control or say hurtful things outright. He isn't explosive or physically aggressive, but his lack of warmth can still hurt.
Does he have a bad temper?
No, he doesn't get angry very quickly. He keeps his emotions in check and rarely loses his temper out loud. This isn't someone who creates drama or picks fights over small things.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He finds it very hard to say sorry or admit when he's wrong. If something goes wrong, he's more likely to stick to his own side of the story and explain his actions rather than take responsibility. This can leave you feeling misunderstood or even blamed for problems that aren't your fault.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He is firm and set in his ways, but when it comes to boundaries, he prefers clear, direct communication. If you say no clearly and stand your ground, he will usually respect it, not by being warm or gentle, but by backing off and withdrawing. However, you may have to repeat your needs, as he isn't always naturally tuned into subtle hints.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
He's not likely to get angry or start a fight if you're not in the mood for intimacy, but he could take it personally in a quiet, withdrawn way. Instead of asking why or talking it out, he may pull back and become distant, keeping his feelings to himself. He might feel rejected or think something is wrong, but won't express these thoughts openly.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
Yes, you can trust him to handle private moments with care. He's not the kind of person who would use your vulnerability against you or try to embarrass you later. You won't have to worry about him sharing your secrets or using personal moments to hurt you.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is generally faithful and not easily distracted by other women. He values routine, loyalty, and order in his life and isn't the type to chase excitement or look for new relationships just for fun. He may not be very romantic or expressive, but if he's made a promise, he wants to keep it.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
He isn't usually over possessive or the type to act jealous and suspicious all the time. He likes to have things in order and under control. But this shows up more in routines and rules than in watching your every move or picking fights about trust. He wants stability, not drama, and prefers knowing where things stand.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
Yes, his protective nature is more about wanting control than about caring in a warm, gentle way. He likes everything planned and managed, so he may call his behavior protective, but you'll notice it's really about setting rules and expecting things to go his way. This can feel strict, with less room for your choices or freedom.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He is more likely to expect you to do most of the work when it comes to parenting. While he sticks to routines and insists things are done properly, he may see childcare and housework as your main job. He can supervise and give advice, but actually sharing the load or teaming up together isn't his natural style.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he will usually stay calm and not lose his temper. He doesn't yell or get overly emotional. Instead, he might become quiet, strict, or give them the cold shoulder for a while. His way isn't harsh, but it can feel distant. Kids might wish for comfort or understanding, but get advice or rules instead.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He may support your role as a mother, expecting you to handle home and children with discipline and care. However, when it comes to you having your own dreams, hobbies, or career, he can be less understanding. You might find that he respects your responsibilities at home more than your need to grow as an individual.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later after kids and marriage change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
Yes, this is the kind of man who might support your career at first, but later expect you to quit once you have a child. In the beginning, he may seem fine with you working, especially if it fits neatly into his idea of a well managed home. But once children come along, he is much more likely to believe you should focus fully on raising them and taking care of the household.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He is more likely to act polite on the surface rather than treat your parents with real warmth. He values manners and routines, so he will greet them properly, follow the usual customs, and show basic respect. His attention will be on doing what's expected rather than creating real closeness. He is more likely to expect your family to adjust to him rather than the other way around.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he will usually handle it calmly and not make a big scene. He doesn't explode in anger or start arguments, but his way of coping is to withdraw and become quiet, which can sometimes make things feel tense or cold. You may find yourself doing most of the work to keep everyone happy and the situation balanced.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
Yes, this is the kind of man who might seem modern and practical with you in private, but will expect you to be a traditional, supportive wife in front of his relatives. He values routines, order, and what he thinks others expect, so he may want you to follow family customs, dress modestly, and show extra respect to elders when relatives visit or during festivals. If you hope for full freedom to be yourself, you'll need to talk openly about these expectations before marriage.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, he is most likely to stay out of it rather than truly support you or openly side with his family. He doesn't like open conflict and prefers things to stay orderly, so he may quietly avoid picking a side or getting deeply involved. If forced to choose, he might give in to his family's ways simply to keep the peace rather than push for what's fair to you.
Say you have a conflict with his mother, what will this guy do?
He does show signs of being a mummy's boy, especially when routines and family traditions are involved. With his love for order and doing things the way he's used to, he will often stick to what his mother says or expects, finding it hard to go against her wishes. In conflicts between you and his mother, he is not likely to stand up for you strongly.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
He is not likely to share every detail of your fights or private life with his mother or sister. He prefers to keep personal matters private and doesn't easily open up about emotional issues, even with his own family. This means your relationship issues usually stay between you two.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
Based on all of this analysis, this guy gets a C plus. This guy is so, not too good, not too bad, a bit mediocre. Being in a relationship with this man means living with predictability and order, but sometimes at the cost of warmth and freedom. Daily life will follow clear routines, and you'll rarely face surprises or sudden changes. He likes things done in a certain way and expects you to keep up.